Good evening, everyone, and welcome back for the final time to USC 2023. It has been a long, grueling tournament, but we have arrived at last at the final match. This one is for all the marbles. It's the first place match and the second place match. It is Virginia versus Florida. And it's a lot on the line. It's Virginia trying to become only the fourth ever unique champion of USC versus Florida trying to reprise their 2021 championship, where they became the first team outside of California to win a USC championship. This is the first ever USC Grand Final, in fact, without a California team involved, so that's pretty exciting. And I think we're in for a good battle. We've got the team that has really established themselves as the strongest against a team that has been fighting their way through everything to reach this stage. I am T1G. Joining me tonight are Dio and iFlame. I haven't seen you guys in a few hours since Corsace Grand Finals a little bit earlier today. How's it going? What are we thinking about USC Grands here this evening?
Yeah, it's been a couple hours. Went and redid some kitchen under cabinet lights. Went and shopped for groceries, cooked some steak, ready to go for USC Grand Finals. I think this is it's gonna be a fun match. Florida's my home state, so I have to root for Florida. But currently living in Canada, so there's some semblance of impartiality here. Just a vague sense of impartiality. Only lived in Florida for 20 years, you know, not that big a deal, surely. So I'm rooting for Florida. That said, I think it's an uphill battle for Florida, despite them being a previous USC champion. iFlame.
Yeah, this is not quite the Florida we have seen in past years. They are, of course, still very strong, but they are going up against an incredibly stacked Virginia roster featuring the likes of, Rectagon, Tony, Rixnator, Failing, RNG, Emitash, and we've seen Florida play this pool already. They did beat NorCal 7-4 the other day, so Virginia has a lot of information here, 11 different maps worth of information to work with, along with the bans from Virginia. So they're going to have a very, very good idea of on this match on what Florida might want to pick and what they're not so comfortable on.
Yeah, I think... Go ahead.
I think a lot of people probably have an idea of what both of these teams are going to pick and which maps they're comfortable and not comfortable on. Virginia is far and away the better mechanics team than Florida, who has struggled on mechanics basically since quarterfinals. Barring streams. Stream maps, they're very good on. They've got Cappy X-Arc. They're solid on streams. Outside of streams, the mechanics are a definite weak point for Florida, who have been very, very strong on tech and reading and lots of other gimmicky stuff, of which there is decisively less in this pool than in the early stage pools. A lot more mechanics for Virginia to pop off on, and still a pretty good selection of weird gimmicky picks for Florida to do well on. Looking through the MP link before this match, a lot of top score 300k maps in the previous match, which I think some of those are actually like deceptively good scores, like 350k on DVP is actually a surprisingly very, very good score. Map CS, it's the, I think, second highest star rating CS9 ranked map in the game.
That is a really specific set of criteria, by the way.
But it was very, TLDR, it's very hard, and it's CS9. It's an over 6-star CS9 alt map. It's quite difficult, so I think some of the 300Ks are actually deceptively good. I'm hoping those turn out to be truly deceptively good 300K scores for Florida's sake.
The question is, to me, like, based on what happened in the winners' final, which was a pretty convincing 7-3 win for Virginia, like, I just don't know if those Florida scores will actually end up, holding up. Maps they won yesterday by, somewhat slim margins against NorCal. Will they be able to win those again, or will, some of the superior skill cap of the Virginia players shine through? I mean, Rectagon is the best player in the tournament, and I don't really think there's much arguing that. But you've got, comparable, especially for this stage of a big tournament like this, comparable question marks on some of the other members of Virginia who really we haven't seen in this sort of scenario all that often, and we need a quick little panic here, perhaps. There we go. We have Failing, who name changed, I guess, literally today, so that's really cool. or it might not have been today, but recently, his name is now Full Wall Kofo or something. I don't know if anybody else noticed that, but that's failing.
Yeah, okay. Nice.
And then, but anyway, like Wix, Mitach, like players who are solid but haven't necessarily been here before versus Florida, who has a lot of experience in finals and grand finals. And you wonder, does that experience shine through versus maybe some skill cap that may or may not perform up to its ability given the stage and the circumstances?
Yeah, I mean that's definitely a fair point. Although I think a lot of these players on Virginia, while definitely newer to USC, I'm sure all have quite a few other tournaments under their belts. And so they should, for the most part, have their nerves under control. And of course, you have to look at a lot of the points that Florida was able to win yesterday against NorCal. And you can be pretty confident that Virginia is going to put up stronger scores on quite a few of them. We do have the first ban, No Mod 2 for Virginia. I really want to see Florida switch up their bans from yesterday. They banned out the No Mod 4 speed pick as well as the DT2, which is 258 BPM. And Hard Rock 3 banned out. This makes a lot of sense here. Virginia just does not play the speed much at all. They've been banning it out themselves.
Florida
so,
play the speed
yeah.
much. Yeah.
No, exactly. Neither team really plays speed, but I don't think it has to be a ban because I doubt Virginia picks the speed anyways. So we might see a lot of speed go completely unpicked this match. We've got followed up by the HD1 ban for Virginia. Florida has been a solid HD1 team so far. And the DTT ban closed things out for Florida, and it is now Florida with the first pick.
That was the fastest bans I've ever seen in my life, I'm pretty sure.
Incredible.
I don't know that I've ever seen anything quite that speedy, but yeah, Hard Rock 3 DT1, so Florida's like, hey guys, you don't get to play the high BPM stream speedy stuff, sorry. And then yeah, No Mod 2 Hidden 1, Virginia's like, hey, you guys don't get to play AR0, but you also don't get to play hidden streams. Yeah, pretty straightforward. I think all those bans pretty unsurprising.
That does leave the DT3 open. Florida has looked really good on these older style low AR DT picks. And we did actually see Virginia ban that kind of older low AR DT map out against Florida in their previous finals match where Virginia did win 7-4. And there's also something like the HD3, which, I like the low AR for Florida, but the aim requirement does give me a little bit of hesitation. It is very, very aim intensive, and that's a little bit scary for Florida.
Yeah, I think if you're Florida, you're picking gimmick and reading stuff, and you're trying to avoid Rectagon. And if you're Virginia, you're, like we said, you're just gonna pick like mechanics. You've got No Mod 1, No Mod 4, DT2 if you want it, Free Mod 1. There's some picks there. Florida, though, gonna open it up with Free Mod 4, which is a map that they played yesterday.
Yeah, we saw actually both teams overmodding.
Yeah.
Exarch was on the hidden Hard Rock, and then I think on NorCal we saw 2 hiddens and a Hard Rock, so I wouldn't be surprised to see Virginia overmodding as well, possibly. Well, it's definitely going to be Rectagon on Hard Rock. Just curious if we see Librarian on the no mod or on a mod. We'll find out in a second.
This was Habib. Digital Hypno. I guess I don't know. Everybody knows it's
yep,
Habib. It was Habib, No Mod, Cappy, Hidden, Exarch, Samus, Hidden Hard Rock.
Yeah.
So this is, what do we think? Like Rectagon Hard Rock? Or no, Rectagon. No, because Wix is gonna go Hard Rock. Okay, they're double Hard Rock with Hidden on RNG.
Yeah.
So yeah, the overmod does come through.
Unsurprising, you do want to match the overmod if you're feeling comfortable enough to do so, and so it's actually a mod advantage for Virginia as we get into this one.
Same mods for Florida as yesterday, with Cappy on the hidden, Samus, Exarch on the hidden Hard Rock, and Digital Hypno on the no mod. And very, very early break for Exarch. 3-way break to start us off for Virginia. Cappy to trade it, Digital Hypno to hold on the no mod, the only no mod player in the lobby. And you can expect, I think, a lot more breaks on this map.
Yep.
The team scores yesterday were 850k from Florida and 680k from NorCal. Granted, NorCal is not really known for being super great on these types of maps, but not really expecting either of these teams to have super high team scores on this. Top score in the entire lobby was 307,000 score from Digital Hypno on the no mod again. So look to him to carry for Florida, I suppose, if you are looking for a single carry player on either of these teams. Big combo built up for Rectagon Librarian and Cappy on the supporting scores. There goes Librarian and Samus. It's RNG and Rectagon versus Digital Hypno and Cappy with better combo for Florida. Their first pick working out so far, but only a quarter of the way in. Still very early days. Still lots of score, lots of combo to be gained or lost for either team. More like lost for Samus, unfortunately. The Hidden Hard Rock proving pretty difficult. There goes Digital Hypno and two other scores from Virginia. It's Cappy and RNG to hold on to the combo. And that's it. Nobody else holding anything right now as we see the four-way break happen right at the end of that early hard section.
Yeah, this map is always just like, hope you have one combo, because the odds of multiple people comboing for very long are so slim just because of how difficult this pick is, that it's like, okay, we have somebody with maybe like a 400 to 600 combo, and that's good enough, which is Cappy on the 800, but RNG, no, okay. Virginia is just South Korea from earlier, I guess, where I mentioned anyone and they instantly break. So sad.
Cappy gonna drop also, so it's not all that bad. Rectagon and Digital Hypno, never mind, just Digital Hypno holding the combo out of the hard section. Yeah, this map's hard. People will break a lot. There's very few breaks worth calling out. Really, if somebody is holding a combo, it's more so worth mentioning than any of the breaks that might happen throughout this map. As there goes Digital Hypno finding the drop on the only remaining high combo in the map. Looking to Samus, RNG, and Cappy to hold on to some combo right now for either of these teams. 80k score lead from Florida, which doesn't sound like a lot, but Virginia's team score is still not quite under 400k, so 80k is actually a pretty sizable score lead. That is a lot of breaks coming through for both Samus and Digital Hypno, though. There goes RNG. Cappy to hold the combo once again, and Florida with combo lead once more, going into another slow section.
Anyone else love 6-minute long maps in schools?
I mean, it's just so great. I mean, the accuracy right now is incredibly one-sided as well. Digital Hypno on the no mod up at 97, whereas you have the two modded players for Virginia outside of Rectagon, both below 95, really hurting them here.
Yeah, it's just been the combo advantage for Florida most of the way through. They do find a triple break with Rectagon holding a 440 combo, but it's just going to be so hard for any one player to bring anything back in this map because it's so long and the scores are so relatively low, and then he breaks anyway, so kind of going to end up being irrelevant. It's an 80k score lead, but like you said, Dio, that's all you really need in a map this long. It's a lot bigger of a score gap than it might appear when your map is 6 minutes long and you're, halfway through.
Part of the reason why the average scores are so low in this map, if it's consistently difficult with lots of diff spikes all throughout and it's 6 minutes long, you're probably not getting all the highest scores on any one player and nobody able to put together any kind of sizable score. The best we got in the whole lobby is 245k from Cappy right now. Rectagon closing in on that on the Hard Rock at about 230k right now. Digital Hypno not too far behind at about 220k, but combo lead right now pretty one-sidedly with Virginia. There go Digital Hypno and Cappy. Rectagon to hold. RNG will find the drop on the hidden, but it is once more combo with Virginia during the slow section here. And it is a 70k score lead now. It has gone down by about 10k. Virginia ever so slowly bringing this back. I don't think it's fast enough to actually end up mattering near the end of this map as we close in on the last quarter of this very, very long first pick. Into the last diff spike section. It's pretty much all on Rectagon. If he can hold through this diff spike, it might be doable for Virginia on the break point. Everyone on Florida is breaking. It's only a 60k score lead now and closing 55k for Florida as Rectagon continuing to hold this combo on Hard Rock. If he actually makes it through this diff spike, it is a carry and a half for the best tournament player in the United States right now. Oh. He will find the drop. He'll find a couple of over aims and start missing all over the place because that's how it is on maps like this, especially with Hard Rock. Your aim control goes once and it goes forever. And it is not going to be enough to carry Virginia to the point. The early score lead from Florida of 80k is going to be enough of a buffer for Rectagon's carry performance in the back quarter of the map not to matter. It will be close, but it will be enough, about 30, 40k for Florida by the end of the map.
This was going to feel a lot like the last two grand finals there for a minute. 2021 Florida won despite the best efforts of Utami on SoCal, and then 2022 Utami put SoCal on his back to a degree few people have ever done before. And that was looking for a while like Rectagon might continue that trend on the first pick here, but instead just not quite enough at the end of the map. And 6 minutes later, Florida emerged victorious on their first pick by just a bare 50K margin. And Virginia's going to go straight into the double time pool. It is going to be DT2 first pick. So we're going to get Enigma Helix. It is tapping DT for the Mechanics favored team in this matchup.
And I do want to point out just real quick before we get into more discussion on this map, Florida replicated their score from yesterday within 234 points. They were 234 points off their score from yesterday. That's can someone say consistency?
Yeah, so this map is, of course, 258 BPM. Florida really struggled on the DTs yesterday. They got something like 950K on this, losing by about 700,000 to NorCal. And so there's a very good chance we're just going to see Virginia run through pretty much all of the DTs left open aside from that low AR DT3. And we've got Failing, Tony, and Rectagon in the lobby looking to do just that.
Yeah, this is just a very solid tapping roster, and I mean, Florida has Rampton and Door. Like, they've got solid tapping players, but I mean, yesterday, let me find this in the MP. There we are. Yesterday they put up 914K. So assuming that's around their expected score, you can anticipate maybe 1 million, and I'm pretty sure that Virginia's going to be able to get 1 million points on this. But we'll see what happens. You never know. Somebody could have a pop-off run from Florida. Somebody could have an off day from Virginia. Not every map goes according to plan, but it's what Virginia would like here. So in we go. Rectagon, Failing, Tony. Rampton, Digital Hypno, Mighty Door. It's always funny to see Digital Hypno enter these maps, but, if he's able to play him, he's able to play him, and Door becomes first to break along with Failing the second.
Yeah, if it's bursts and finger control rather than long streams, Digital Hypno still can hold his own on these types of maps, and that's definitely this kind of map. Unfortunately, holding his own is relative to the rest of Florida, not necessarily Virginia. Tony finally finding a break there as Rectagon continues to hold the only full combo in the lobby. And there's finally a break for Rectagon. He does find the slider break, but is there really any doubt about who's winning this pick halfway through? 240,000 score lead for Virginia already. Combo on no one from Florida, not even able to take advantage of the breaks there from Rectagon and Tony going into the slow section. And this is kind of the expectation for the match, right? Is that Florida is going to win or very heavily contest a lot of the gimmicky picks, a lot of the really more technical or control-focused picks in this pool. And on speed and other mechanics picks, Virginia is just going to gap. And that's kind of what's happening here. There is combo on 0 people from Florida. Granted, Failing and Rectagon are not on all that high combos themselves, but Tony is there to more than pick up the slack. Does finally drop that 400+ combo as well. But look at the score diff, almost 500K in Virginia's favor. That is a near double score by the end of the map, which is just absurd, even on a first pick in any kind of tournament setting. Very, very well played from Virginia. 500K on Rectagon, almost 500K on Tony, and those two alone are more than enough to 2v3 the Florida squad.
Yeah, Virginia off to a fantastic start on the DT2 now. Pressure on Florida to get their next pick back, and unlike Virginia, where you just have the rest of the DT pool and any kind of faster maps on top of the Hard Rock game, the picks aren't quite as clear for Florida. I do still think they have a few good picks for their next few. So they shouldn't have anything super unpredictable, but it gets very tricky very quickly for Florida after the first 2 or 3 maps. We'll see what they want to go for here.
The scary note on the previous pick is that Rectagon top scored for Virginia, and they didn't even need a score to win.
No, they really only needed any 2 would have done it.
It's going to be Hidden 2 as the next pick for Florida here. think we saw... Oh, we did see this yesterday. Excuse me. I tell a lie. We saw this as kind of a mid-late pick, I guess, from Florida yesterday. A lot of B ranks. Very, very difficult pick. I don't even know what to say about this map other than it's ridiculously hard, but that's kind of everything in this pool.
Yeah, I mean, for the people not familiar with the map, this is a really tricky slider tech map, and similarly to the last map, Florida got 950k team score, but this map feels quite a bit harder, so that feels like a really solid score. So I do think they are definitely slightly favored on this pick. They have looked so good on the hit-ins for the core of Digital Hypno, Eggsark, and of course Kathy, most likely going to be the last player here.
Yeah, one thing that would kind of scare me, though, is just always going to be Rectagon. Like, you saw him almost carry the free mod first pick for Florida, and the man is very, very good at tech. Generally speaking, it's no mod or hard rock tech, but he has definitely improved his hidden. So always the X factor, I feel like, in the back of everyone's mind for pretty much any pick is going to be like, oh hey, Rectagon could just pop up and do something absurd on this, and it would just never be surprising. So always the one to look out for on Virginia no matter what. But Almighty Door, Digital Hypno, and Xart going to be a pretty solid 3-core for a map such as this one, and it is going to get underway. Florida second pick, 1-1 early on here. Both teams not really showing a lot on their first picks, doing exactly what they needed to and a little more, but that was all it needed. And so in we go.
In we go as my dog continues barking up a storm upstairs. Only so much I can do here. A little bit of breaks early on from both teams. Only Samus and Tony holding on to the full combos right now. There goes Tony. Act low across the board. Only Almighty Door and Digital Hypno above 90%. There goes Samus, just barely above 90 as well. The entirety of Team Virginia below that 90% mark. Digital Hypno and Almighty Door continuing to hold combo, and Samus on a very, very good recovered combo as well. This is 321 BPM, so effectively 160 alt, except when you get bursts where they're actually just 320 BPM. There goes Bancho, almost causing a break for Digital Hypno there. Rectagon matching, or trying to match some of the combos out of Florida. Like you said, it's Rectagon to try and 1v3 effectively on this map. There goes Almighty Door, will find the drop. There goes Samus as well. It's Digital Hypno versus Rectagon, but the buffer for Digital Hypno is immense, and there goes the combo from Rectagon. There goes the hope at a comeback for Virginia, as this score lead is over 400k already. Virginia's total score is under 500k, and this is just replication of the last map's dominance for Team Florida right now. This Hidden 2 could not be going better for them.
They're going to improve their score from yesterday by what looks like a pretty decent margin if they can hold some combo in the ending here. Digital Hypno is doing absurd things on this map before finally breaking near the end, but I mean, he's going to put up nearly 500k, actually probably over... Oh, what the... His score just teleported up by 20k. He's going to go over 500k by himself, Xark at 400k, and this is Florida beating their score from yesterday by like 200, 300,000 points.
It's huge improvement, and it's massive dominance for Florida in a matchup where we weren't sure exactly how Florida was going to look. Winners finals was 7-3 for Virginia. It was not particularly close or competitive. And Florida has shown up to game today, rooting for the home state, paying off here in grand finals, I suppose.
Yeah, and they're so quick with these picks. The DT4 coming out for Rectagon. I mean, this is pretty much what we expected. They're just going to run through the DT pool. Now, this is, of course, the last DT map open. This is just going to be your very standard, consistency aim DT you typically find in the DT1 slot.
There will still be DT3. There will still be DT3.
DT3, yes.
They probably won't
there
pick
is still
it.
DT3
It's still
available.
there, but they probably won't pick it.
That seems like a Florida pick to me. Only reason, but yeah, that is technically still open. Regardless, I have not seen this one for Florida, so Virginia going in blind, but this one should be pretty clearly advantage for them. And they're going to just keep their same lineup, Rectagon, Tony, and Failing in here, as we saw in the last DT. And then we've got Almighty Door, Hypno, and Ramton, who is... Ramton has been an incredible speed player for this Florida team throughout the tournament, just in for pretty much every single DT, aside from those low AR ones. And definitely a player to watch out for on a pick like this.
And this was a NorCal pick yesterday, correct? I think.
Was not picked, I don't believe.
Why does it say it was picked, but it's not in the MP? I am confusion.
Yeah, has not been played as far as I'm aware.
This was banned yesterday. I apologize.
Yes,
I was looking at. I was thinking of DT1 because this is a DT1 map, but it's not actually DT1.
Thank you, Dada.
We didn't get to see this yesterday. Anyway, yeah, this is like actually a really good map for like Rampton, for instance. I think super solid on this, but man, Recti and Tony, like this is kind of playground stuff for them. Just really solid at aim, really solid at tapping, really solid at DT in general. So, like the pick here for Virginia, not beyond the realm of possibility for Florida to make a run at this one, but obviously, as with the other mechanics and tapping favored maps, Virginia is going to be very, very favored.
Early break to start it out for Almighty Door. Everybody else holding on to these full combos for now. About 1/8 of the way through the map in the break for Almighty Door, so it won't matter too much, but it is an early score lead to Virginia nonetheless. Early break on the burst there for Tony. Everyone on Florida is wiped. There goes failing as well. Full Kofo. Full lol Kofo. I'm just calling
Just call him failing. Yeah, just call him failing, bro. That name is dumb.
Rectigon's holding the full combo. That's all that matters right now. Everybody else is broken combo. There goes Rectigon as well. It's about an 85-90K score lead for Virginia. A lot of this carried by the accuracy, 92% for Almighty Door, under 95 for Digital Hypno. Rectigon at 95, Tony at 97 is going to bring that average score up for Team Virginia by a little bit. Combo with Tony right now, almost matched by Digital Hypno, and otherwise about even combo across the board here. So not a lot to comment on going into the middle of this map. We're just waiting for the next diff spike. We're waiting for the next PI. We're waiting for the next set of streams, and everybody hitting this part so far. Nobody missing on the triples. Nobody missing on the stream there. Door and Habib both breaking on the buzz sliders with the triples. Tony and Rampton missing on the jumps afterwards. Rectigon and failing to hold the combos through the diff spike into the next PI time. Still going now. Still extending the lead for Virginia. And it was dominance on the first pick for Virginia, dominance on the second pick for Florida, and some delayed onset dominance for Virginia on their second pick, as now they have finally started to run away with this one. Runaway combos for both Rectigon and failing.
Yeah, this is just, Virginia's, superiority in this skill set eventually showing up. It took it a little bit, as you said, but it definitely occurred. This is going to end up being 500K, maybe more, depending on how the ending goes here, as the final margin of victory. Virginia just saying, hey guys, there are mechanics maps in the pool, we are going to pick them. This will, as we noted, exhaust their options in DT, so, Florida's got that to look forward to, is not having to play more DT unless they want to pick DT3 themselves. But the damage has been done with the two pretty straightforward picks for Virginia turning into straightforward points.
Yeah, these are two teams with pretty opposing skill sets, right? And I think the early picks are going to be very straightforward for both of these teams. And so, very good chance we're not going to see many breakpoints until at least a couple more maps into this match here.
Yeah, so now
there's the HD3 finally going for that.
We just go HD3. Okay,
Yeah,
this is, and then Virginia will just pick. And then Virginia will just pick Nomad 4.
Yep, and then we get DT3 from Florida.
And then we get Nomad 1 or Fremod 1 from
then after that, it gets
Virginia.
Florida.
And then it gets interesting. Once we're 8 maps in, that's when the match actually starts, because they start to run out of picks.
Hey, unless we see some surprise upset out of nowhere.
I mean,
crazier things have happened.
Speaking, strictly speaking, it's feasible.
Yeah. Should see Almighty Door in for this one. This is one we saw yesterday. So Virginia presumably were prepared for this one, but Virginia really doesn't have much of a low R team, especially considering you have Rectigon in for the AR8 hidden.
No,
pick.
he's gotten way better this time. Don't sell him
right.
short. I watched the man at Roundtable. He's gotten a lot better at this stuff. He's still not amazing, but he's gotten a lot better than he used to be.
I take it back then. RNG, on the other hand, is and has been very, very strong on these low AR HD picks. I think the bigger question for RNG is the scaling and the difficulty of the aim in this map, more so than the air rate reading. But definitely someone I think could put up a strong score for Virginia.
They need Kron back. Unironically, they need Kron back from their like 2020 team that got to the grand finals and lost to the dumb SoCal stacked team, the stacked team of all time. But he was literally on that team for reading, and that was like the point they won against SoCal. The only point they won against SoCal in the grand final was on low AR, and it was Kron that like carried it. But yeah, definitely lacking a little bit in the reading department for this Virginia squad, and you can already see it not starting off super great for a lot of players. Boy, oh boy, there's breaks aplenty to start this map off. Have fun, deal.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be similar to the Fremont 4 that we saw earlier, right? Where you're not so much looking at the breaks, you're more so looking at can anyone hold a combo, and right now the answer is no. But it seems like more breaks are coming from Florida at the moment, less combo from Florida as well. Rectagon and RNG and Tony with about 150, and nobody on Florida above 100 right now. Almighty Door hitting that number exactly as we head into the break. I saw a break for Rectagon right as the break started. I think a slider break for RNG as well, but they've still got a little bit of combo on Tony to start things off. Accuracy pretty similar across the board for these teams. One member on 94, one on 97, one on 96 for all of these squads. And it was actually the break for Tony, not for RNG going into the break here. As now Almighty Door and RNG with the only combo on either squad, and pretty much similar combo for the entire rest of the lobby right now. Can anyone hold anything in this map? The top score on this pick was 394K by Almighty Door yesterday when Florida played this versus NorCal. So it's, again, going to be a slugfest, I think, between both of these teams, as it's pretty tough to hold any kind of consistent combo between the buzz sliders, the low AR, the wide angle jumps, everything making this map very difficult. Cappy breaking on the buzz sliders, Tony breaking on the aim, Rectagon and Door trading misses exactly. It's Digital Hypno and RNG with combo intact. There goes Habib on one of the jumps, and RNG now to hold for Virginia to try and bring this pick over to their side. Repeated misses from Cappy and Almighty Door are going to make that a little bit more simple for RNG, a little bit more doable, and combo once again held for RNG. S rank still intact going into the last third of this map. The longer he holds, the bigger the score lead gets, but it's only 30K right now. It is neck and neck between these two teams. We're gonna get another difficult section pretty soon here. Everyone knows how this song goes in the OS community. If you remember the Blue Dragon Z-Trot collab, you will know how this song goes. It is a pretty famous one for anyone looking to field awkward aim, usually. This is a very different set, but still the same song. How long can RNG hold, and can the members of Florida bring it back once he breaks? There he goes on the jumps, and Florida is holding 3 combos right now. It's only Rectagon, Cappy and Rectagon trade. Tony goes as well. It's Digital Hypno and Almighty Door, and Digital Hypno will go, but Almighty Door is still holding the combo. This is the member that carried them yesterday. He chain misses, though, and gives the score back over to Virginia. It's all RNG now.
Bro, this map makes no sense. Everyone's just missing everywhere. Nobody can hold on to anything, but RNG had the one, like, 400-plus combo, and now at the most important moment in the map, he brought a 200 combo into the ending. Rectagon and Tony back him up, and that is just gonna... It would probably do it. Hang on, we gotta wait till it's actually over, because the scoreline is so incredibly close, but that is gonna do it. It's gonna be Virginia to take the first break point of the match. A 365k Rectagon, 390k RNG, 323k on Tony, and despite the final margin of victory being about 90k, it was certainly felt closer than that most of the way through until Florida started dropping score at the end, and that was a really fast map change, but we at least got to see the scores, so it's okay. It's the instant Hard Rock 2. Virginia's like, we are speedrunning, guys. It's just instant Hard Rock 2.
Yeah, that's a super important breakpoint for Virginia. It feels like they have the clear path to victory in this match. They have the more obvious picks for almost the entirety of the match, and so there's a very good chance they're going to be able to consolidate the breakpoint. This is Rectagon's kind of map. You know, we've already seen Rectagon putting up some strong scores for Virginia, and this is pretty much his bread and butter right here. This is the Hard Rock tech. Florida have not played much Hard Rock at all, have not been having a good time on it so far, and it's going to be a big ask for Florida to get a breakpoint back on this pick. And even outside of this one, right, we still have the 2 precision maps in the pool, and so it gets scary for Florida very quickly, but they do still have quite a bit of time to take this one back as we see Cappy as well as Digital Hypno into the lobby.
Yeah, you know, I feel like the early picks in this match were so important for Florida. They had to get out 3, maybe 4 points on their own picks before they could like to get at least that far out into the match, to get through the picks that felt favored to them, before the maps that were maybe a little more coin flippy, and that felt like one that was more favored to them than obviously it ended up being. Because like you said, you get into some of these precision picks, and there are some speedy, heavy tapping maps remaining as well. Obviously, Virginia not opting into those right now, but you obviously do have, like, the Nomad 1 available, right? Things like that. The Nomad 4 available as well, if anybody can really play that on that team. So yeah, if Florida drops breakpoints early in this, it gets real scary real fast, because Virginia can just jump out to a big lead, and you know, they can get the 4-2 under their belts if they consolidate this breakpoint right now. But first, we're going to go Hard Rock Tech, which is like Rectagon's playground. I like this pick as something that he's very good at, and Philly and Wix should be solid at as well. But Happy, Habib, and Dor, certainly no slouches when it comes to playing a little bit of Hard Rock Tech themselves.
Well, we'll see how the posture is for Florida, whether they're slouching a bit too much on this map or not. We get some early breaks for both Librarian and Failing. Digital Hypno to break for Florida as well, but more breaks to come through for Virginia. Dor will trade with the other misses from Failing and Librarian. There goes Digital Hypno as well. It's Cappy and Rectagon holding on to combos right now. And 1-for-1 against Rectagon is usually not where you want to be on Hard Rock Tech. So Florida in a precarious position right now as Almighty Dor trades another miss. There goes Cappy on the full combo. It is traded with Rectagon, and there goes Librarian as well, but it's failing to hold the combo for Virginia now to extend the score lead. Everyone on Florida having missed, and only 2 for Virginia finding the misses is crucial for them to bring out an early score lead in the first half of this map. Coming up on this halfway point, it's another one of those maps where everyone is breaking all the time except for maybe 1 or 2 people. And those 2 people right now are for Virginia. It is Failing and Rectagon with combo going into the back half of this map. And very good ACK for both of them as well. S rank 96 ACK for Failing. 97 ACK on the A rank for Rectagon as we get a little bit of slow section here. And just free score for Virginia.
Yeah, you love those little bits of free score wherever you can get them on maps that are this difficult. When you've got a combo lead, it means so much for your team. And Virginia able to just continue building up the score a little bit more. The breaks get traded. There go Rectagon, Failing, and Cappy. So it is Digital Hypno and Almighty Dor. One matches like Vixenator, the other one gets a free combo. But not for long, unfortunately, as they both fall.
Yeah.
That was not long-lasting at all.
That was not for long indeed, as both of them immediately dropped the combo. And Librarian to hold, Rectagon to hold, Virginia to extend this out above 300k. And, you know, it's not just Rectagon on this roster that's good at Hard Rock Tech, it seems. Yes, he's going to top score the lobby with 450k or so by the end of the map, but it's over 400k for Failing, and no one above 350k for Florida. The worst score on Virginia, better than the best score on Florida. And when you can say that, you can say that it is across the board dominance, a pick that could never be contested for the losing team in this case. Virginia just wiping the floor with Florida there.
Yeah, solid team performance from Virginia. I would imagine we are going to get a pretty quick DT3 from Florida, looking to get some momentum back. They have not been able to play this map in quite a while. They had it banned out against them yesterday in the previous match. It was banned out against them the 2 weeks before that. But they're going to go free mod 1 instead. Now, this free mod 1 is going to be a stream free mod map, so playing into their stream skill set with Cappy on the Hard Rock, with Exarch on the Hidden, as well as likely Habib coming in to fill. I think they're going to look very, very strong on this one as well, and I guess keeping the DT3 in the back pocket for later on in this match.
Got such good tapping players on Virginia's side, though.
Actually, Almighty over Hypno on the Nomad.
We'll have to see. Almighty Dor, Cappy, Exarch, Rectagon,
Yeah.
Tony, Failing. Yeah. I mean, yeah. This is. I think, in terms of like the remaining picks, this feels like it's pretty reasonable for Florida, but it's a scary one because this is sort of a skill set that Virginia is also solid at. It's not going to be like the gimmicky stuff where Florida is just clearly favored. or certain like reading gimmicks, I guess it would be the term to use. This is just like, hey guys, play some streams with Fremod on. That feels a little more up in the air to me.
Yeah, it feels like one of the big questions of this match. It feels like one of the first picks where Florida feels slightly advantaged, but it could very easily be a big coin flip taken by Virginia, and you cannot afford to give up another break point already down by 2.
Good thing for Florida. This was a very, very good pick for them yesterday. It was a win by 400k over NorCal, with Samus Exarch getting 750k on the hidden and Almighty Door getting 600k on the Nomad. That said, Virginia is going to know those scores from yesterday. They're going to know what they have to put up in order to compete. And very, very early break for Cappy on the Hard Rock here. But this is effectively a Fremod stream pick, which is something Virginia banned out in the Hidden 1 against Florida in this match. A break for Tony to trade out those breaks from Cappy as well. The Hidden player and Hard Rock player trading for both teams. Right now, it's the advantage to Virginia, with Hard Rock SS still intact for Rectigon, and 2 full combos apiece for either of these grand finalists. Rectigon and Failing versus Samus alone now, as Almighty Door finds the miss aim on that stream, drops a huge chain miss, drops a bunch of accuracy and a bunch of score. It is now only Samus alive for Florida, and the longer Rectigon and Failing continue to hold, the better this gets for Virginia. Unfortunately, Tony is down at 50k right now. Cappy's not too far ahead at only 75k. It's about a 20k lead for the bottom score on Team Florida, but it is still a lead nonetheless for Florida in that bottom score, and a distinct lack of comfort, it seems, for Tony on this style of map. But the 2 full combos are still intact for Virginia, and the score lead is still going strong for them, up about 60-70k now, as these 2 FCs are continuing to build. 99.77 AC for Rectigon on Hard Rock, 99.6 AC for Failing on Nomad. Another big stream section here, as there goes Tony's entire score. There goes Almighty Door as well, just dropping so much accuracy, so much score. Cappy to drop on the Hard Rock as well. There goes Failing. Samus and Rectigon, both of them trade at the same point as well. It is all down to the chain misses right now, as everybody's missing all over the place, and it's going to stay with about the same score lead at the end of it all. All the chain misses pretty much equalized for both teams. It's 80k in the favor of Virginia, with no combo left on the board.
That was just red X's everywhere, man. Like, everyone just decided, no, we're not going to play this anymore. We're all going to break all left, right, and the center. And like you said, though, like, even through all that, it's just Virginia maintaining the 80k score lead. Like, nothing actually changed. And now you have 2 combos to 2. You've got Rectigon and Failing against Exarch and Almighty Door, with Cappy and Tony a bit behind them. Technically speaking, like, this is still comebackable. There's a lot of time left, and there's some solid combo getting built up, and Tony is just having, like, a really bad time.
Cappy as well is having a pretty bad time on this compared to yesterday. 500k yesterday on the Hard Rock, down at 215k right now. It's Cappy on the Hard Rock for Florida. Matching combos still there for Rectigon, Failing, Samus, and Almighty Door, though, as both of these teams still have 2 apiece for combos that matter at the moment. It's only about a 60k score lead now, and actually closing in for Florida bit by bit right now. But that is still a lead for Virginia at the moment. Unless something changes, this should be the break point. We've got a sliver of map left. Can Florida bring it back? Is there chain misses on any member of Virginia unanswered by Florida at the end of this map here? Is there any extra hard stream section here at the end? We're getting another bit of these XL, decel, high curvature streams. Tons of angles, tons of corners in these streams. Does anyone chain miss? There's a chain miss for Tony. Failing and Cappy both break at the same time, and it is not enough. It is 22k, not even 22k for Virginia by the end of it. It was almost the win for Florida, but Virginia with yet another breakpoint at a crucial juncture, now up 5-2 and 2 breakpoints in this match.
That is absolute heartbreak for Florida. They really needed that point to feel like they're really still in this match. Now they're massively on the back foot, but that 99.2 accuracy on the Hard Rock is absolutely absurd from Rectigon. That is just such insane accuracy. And then, of course, Falling doing a really nice job of putting up that supporting combo. They didn't really even need Tony's score. Now they're going to follow that up with a very, very quick Fremod 3 pick. And this is going to be your kind of fast aim free mod pick at 220 BPM. This is another kind of map that Rectagon as well as Failing, actually we might see Wixinator in for this one, but this is a solid pick for Virginia and something we actually did not see Florida play this yesterday actually, so it's not very clear. And there's Wixinator in, most likely on the no mod.
Yeah, this is like the highest starting map, or it's one of the highest starting maps in the pool, right? Other than outside of Hard Rock 3, and Nomad 4. So like outside of the just crazy raw speed tapping maps. So yeah, Virginia opting back into skill cap.
Yeah, this is 9 stars with the Hard Rock, so
have fun.
High star rating map for Rectagon and probably Kathy, but the patterns themselves, I would say, are relatively comfortable compared to most of the maps in the pool. So, you know, I don't think this map is quite as hard as a 9-star map, but it is certainly tricky.
Oh, we're gonna get into it. It's gonna be indeed Rectagon on the Hard Rock, so he gets to be the 9-star man. RNG in for Hidden with Wix on Nomad, and then you've got Xark Hidden Hard Rock, no Hidden only, Cappy Nomad for Florida. So Florida now is in a position where they have to win 2 breakpoints, and I feel like, unfortunately, I just don't know that that's doable. But it's got to start somewhere, and it's got to start soon, because if they drop this one, it's 6-2, and it's just match points the rest of the way for Virginia. So Florida's got to show us something that they have unfortunately not been able to show us so far in this match, and it's got to be really soon.
Well, if there's ever a time for a comeback, it is definitely right now for Florida. Samus with a miss on the Hidden Hard Rock, Cappy on the Nomad, Cappy finding a break on the Nomad there at the end of that jump sequence. Digital Hypno on Hidden only. Definitely not a map where you want multiple Hard Rocks here, as this map shoots up to over 9 stars with Hard Rock. 220 BPM mechanics, forward, awkward aim pick by Mordred. RNG and Digital Hypno with competing combos. There goes RNG. Rectagon and Digital Hypno with matching combos. Now a slight combo lead for Florida. Samus and RNG to trade once again. It's Cappy and Librarian with matching combo. Digital Hypno about 70-80 combo up on Rectagon. Samus with yet another break on the Hidden Hard Rock, though, and the Hard Rock difference might just end up doing Florida in on this map, as Rectagon cannot find the combo through that high star rating aim section. Cappy will drop as well, but it's Librarian and Digital Hypno to hold, and that is a combo that favors Florida by a pretty wide margin. Unfortunately, extra combo on RNG is going to make this score lead a little bit stubborn in coming over to the side of the Floridians. Samus with another break, Cappy breaking right before that. And there goes Digital Hypno, there goes Rectagon and RNG as well, but it's Librarian to hold on the aim patterns. Oh. And Wixinator is going to keep this score lead on the side of Virginia. It's only a 50k score lead, but when the team scores are around 500k, 50k is more than enough. Chain miss for Samus brings that score lead. Oh my god, that's a lot of chain misses. Okay, everyone breaking on that pattern. And it is now about 55k, the score lead for Virginia. Nothing really changing at the end of those chain misses, but full combo reset for all 6 players.
Yeah, and the full combo reset is going to be fine with Virginia, realistically. Obviously, they'd rather have combo, but if somebody's going to break, it might as well just be everyone in the lobby, and you can keep up with this score lead without having any combo to worry about for the other team. And right now, it's just Rectagon 1v1 and Cappy, and, you know, that's with a 70k score lead in Rectagon's back pocket with the Wixinator combo just, like, what, 7 combo behind for free? So it's just Virginia feeling good. They're the higher skill cap team, and they've got players who are playing pretty well on the day, with Rectagon and Wixinator both put up really solid scores in this, and RNG not that far behind.
Yeah, and unfortunately for Florida, this doesn't seem like it's going to be the break point they would have wanted it to be. Rectagon's going to find them break, but Wixinator, RNG, both on big combo. Digital Hypno, the only high combo for Florida, only matching RNG. That's not who you want to be matching. And, you know, to be saying this match was going to be Virginia picking mechanics and gapping Florida on mechanics enough yet, because that really is kind of just what's going on in this match. There's not a lot else here. Florida's picking the gimmick and contesting it, definitely, but Virginia is consistently far out ahead of the rest of the pack on these mechanics picks, and they have been all tournament long, and they continue to be in this grand finals. 200k plus the score lead for Virginia by the end of the map here, as there's only Cappy for Florida on the no bottom. While he has been able to consistently get a combo, he has not been able to consistently keep it, finding a break yet again on some of the high spacing jump patterns in this map, and consolidating another break point for Virginia, up now 6-2. 2 full break points over Florida in this match. Match point, tournament point for Virginia. They only need to win one more map in this best of 13, and they are your United States Cup 2023 champions. Florida has to win 5 in a row and a second best of 13 to say the same.
Florida on the brink of defeat here. They need to find something, find a pick, pull something together towards the end of this match. If I had to guess, I feel like surely this has to be the DT3 that has been banned against them all tournament long. I guess technically they could go for the free mod 3 instead, which is just kind of straight alt, but that feels very risky. The free mod 2, not the free mod 3. That's what was just played. The free mod 2 is kind of maybe the second best option for them after the DT3, but RNG wants them to pick FM2, playing some mind games, and not a huge fan of it. I think unless for there for some reason just very uncomfortable with this specific DT3.
It's got to be DT3 because everything else just looks so bad for them on paper. All right, or Nomad. Okay, Nomad 5. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, pick Nomad Tech. Like, why not? Yeah. I mean, pick real lazy Tech. It's really hard. It's Tech. I mean, yeah, if you're Florida, you lost the Hard Rock too, but like, I mean, what difference? Okay, I think the feeling here, if you're Florida, unfortunately, and like I feel bad that this is the case, but it's like, what difference does it freaking make at this point, man? Like you're at a point where it feels like you're probably going to lose. Right, you're down 6-2. You haven't been able to come close to a break point. It just feels like you are at the this is all that's left. It doesn't. Just pick a map, whatever. Yep. If anybody watched, this is a deep cut, but Breaking Point. There was this documentary about Team Liquid with what's his face, Gardock, and he has this infamous line where he just says, "Let us lose in peace." And this is kind of just let us lose in peace.
I completely agree. Florida is, even if they go out, at least they're going out in style. Rectigon, Tony, and Phelan as well, assuming Phelan is the last one, are all very, very capable tech players, and I expect Virginia to put up more than a good fight on this one going into the match. I honestly would have slightly favored them, and I still do. So we'll see if Florida can pull off something big here and bring this to at least one more map. You never know.
Yeah, I mean, it was either this or DT3. Realistically, like, giving Florida the credit they deserve, like, they are good at tech, they are good at old stuff compared to, I don't know that I'd say they're good at tech compared to Virginia, but they're just good at tech, and they're obviously solid at old stuff. I think I would have rather seen this be DT3, but of the remaining options, it was one of those two. And if they were going to get another point on the board, it might as well be here. And then, Virginia forced Virginia into picking something to try to close out the match. But the way Virginia's playing, the way Florida's playing, this just feels, unfortunately, a tiny bit inevitable.
See if Florida can replicate their scores from yesterday, at least. 900k team score for Florida on this yesterday, with Digital Hypno and Cappy near that 300k mark. All made the door not too far behind. It is going to be a couple of early breaks for Florida and Virginia. Rectagon, Tony, Cappy, and Digital Hypno all breaking near the start. Almighty Door and RNG trading misses there, but look at the accuracy difference between the two teams. 92, 93 act for Almighty Door, the top act on Florida's side, and 92.7 the bottom act for Virginia from Tony right now. 96 act for Rectagon, almost 95 from RNG on this pick, and with continued breaks from both sides now, it is combo for Virginia on Rectagon. He goes away. Tony's combo goes away. It's all down to the accuracy right now, and it is doing some work, nearly 60k worth of work to be precise, at about the halfway point in this map. This map not quite going, I think, as well as Florida would have liked. They were far below the 450k mark that they would be looking for at about the halfway point in this map right now. Combo on Digital Hypno, better than any of the combo on the side of Virginia, and matching combo for Cappy and Almighty Door compared to Virginia's other members. Rectagon is going to find the break now, and it is combo lead for Florida. Cappy, Almighty Door, RNG, Tony, all break. It's everyone besides Digital Hypno to break. Can Habib carry them to another point? He does find the drop. He does find the chain miss. It gives the score over to Virginia, but it's not by much. There is still quite a lot of map left, quite a lot of places for these combos on RNG and Rectagon to drop. There goes RNG. Rectagon still holding, however, and if Cappy doesn't hold during this section, it might just not be enough for Florida at all. He continues to hold. Digital Hypno holding as well, but it's Almighty Door to find the chain miss, Cappy to break, Digital Hypno to break as well. Rectagon will trade it out, but it's Tony with combo intact, and it feels like every time Florida finds a break, only one member of Virginia does, and it's just never enough for Florida to bring the score lead back. It is still neck and neck between these two teams, only about 30-40k, but Tony is continuing to hold this massive combo into the ending, and it is an underperformance from Florida, not able to replicate their scores from yesterday. Virginia able to take full advantage with this huge combo from Tony into the ending of the map to secure first place in United States Cup 2023.
And that is a new champion of USC. It is a non-California champion for only the second time. Virginia climbing to the top step. They've reached the grand finals before, but never were able to claim the title, and this time they have managed to do it. That was a really honestly solid team performance from Virginia. They got what they needed. Yes, they had their leader Rectagon, but man, the whole team just did what they had to do throughout this match. Rectagon playing all 9 maps, top scoring 6 of them for the entire lobby. But man, failing Tony, RNG, Librarian, all doing their part when called upon. And it just felt inevitable from the minute Virginia got that break point early-ish on Florida's third point. From there on out, it just felt like it was all Virginia all the time as they won 5 straight picks. Actually, 6 straight, technically, right? Because it would have been 2-1 Florida. So it was 2-1 Florida and then 6 straight for Virginia. Just the train had no brakes.
Yeah, started a bit of an avalanche. Unfortunately, Florida had some fight left in them on that last pick, but not quite enough. And so Florida, the one other team outside of the California teams who have also won USC in the past, will be finishing in second place this time around. But credit to them, they have put up some very strong performances to make it this far, especially in their last match against that NorCal team. But man, this Virginia team is clearly the best Virginia team we've ever had, and excited to see if they can keep up this performance in future USCs.
Yeah, they kind of stepped up to fill like a little bit of a power vacuum this year. You know, it's been a couple years in a row now, this year and last year, where the team with the best player won. You know, this year it was Virginia with Rectagon. Last year it was SoCal with Utami. Before that, we really saw we saw a team performance from Florida in 2021, where it really was team-based. 2020 was team-based. You had SoCal with the stupidly stacked roster, and before that it was kind of team-based before. But the last couple of years, man, it's just been who has the single best player playing the best on their team to carry in some of these late rounds, and that was Rectagon this year. The dude has got to be considered the MVP of the tournament, but you can't do it without some semblance of a team. Like I said, credit to the rest of Virginia as well for always being up to the challenge of every team they faced. I believe their total map score ended up being 36-7, so very, very solid. Didn't drop many maps over the course of this tournament. Really performed well in every stage. Very, very deserving winner.
And for Virginia, I think it's a little bit of finally getting what they feel they may have deserved in 2021 when Florida actually ended up winning the tournament outright. As if anybody remembers, 2021 was the Rectagon incident, resulting in tournament ban. And so
and they were on track to maybe win that year.
Yeah, they were in winners finals. They were the top seed in the tournament. They ended up losing Rectagon before winners finals. and lost winners finals 2-7 to Florida, then lost losers bracket grand finals 1-7 to SoCal before Florida ended up beating SoCal 7-4. So it is, I feel like, a bit of comeuppance for Virginia to finally get the win that they feel they may have deserved in 2021 when Rectagon was removed from the tournament and unable to play in 2022 due to the timing of USC that year. So Rectagon finally getting a United States Cup win under his belt, and I think deservedly so, especially considering his performance not just in United States Cup, but in very, very many tournaments as of recent, with huge pop-off plays in Course Ace Open, in the Round Table, in a bunch of different places. So without a doubt, the best active tournament player in the United States right now, and showing it off in fashion here in United States Cup.
And that's not even to mention the heartbreak of 2020, where they got all the way to the grand final and then had the least competitive match I think I've ever seen in the late stage of USC, losing 7-1, 7-0 at the hands of the unbeatable trio of SoCal that year. So it was several years of pain and heartbreak and frustration and anger, finally leading to this moment where Virginia gets the win. And yeah, they get, you know, revenge isn't the right word, but certainly satisfaction of earning a well-deserved victory.
Yeah, I mean, the SoCal team that year was Vaxe, Idke, Munko, Matthew, Headstack.
That team was dumb.
There's nothing you
Explosion
can do there.
Boom. Like, that team was a little ridiculous, even if you have, like, prime tournament player, BTMC, Tony, Rectagon, like, it's just not happening.
I mean, not the team that would go far in quite a few international tournaments.
Yeah, I mean, the year before that, right, they were the best. Vaxe and Idke led the best OWC team there has ever been, the most dominant OWC win there has ever been. So, and then they just come to little old USC, and it's like just nothing in comparison. That was child's play. But you know, these two teams aside, all the accolades for Virginia and for Florida, like, can we just say shout outs to a lot of the other teams that have performed so well this year? We've really seen the ascension of Maryland, for instance, getting to a very late stage, losing on a heartbreaking tiebreak against NorCal in losers round 6. New York as well, getting to that same stage. Those were the 5th and 6th place finishers for this year. But like Maryland especially, holy cow, those guys have gotten so good. That's a team to be looking out for in years to come. Very fun to see some kind of newer blood, I suppose, at the top of the USC ladder.
Yeah, New Jersey as well. Another team I feel like did pretty well. You know, despite no longer having Yoshi Lover in the lineup.
I don't know. It's always a little bittersweet to come to the end of this tournament in general. We get to see the best teams on the hardest pools, and then it's just all over, just like that. I feel like, I don't know. It's been another pretty good iteration of the tournament, like with a new winner, first-time champion in Virginia, a first ever non-California grand final. Some very cool scores from a lot of players across the entire tournament. Some more really unique and interesting map pools. Like, I don't know. It feels to me like a pretty fun year of USC.
Yeah, quite a few incredibly close matches as well, that just made for some incredible viewing. That NorCal Maryland match going to tiebreaker, and then the Battle of California with NorCal taking it 7-5. So there have been plenty of good matchups to watch. It's definitely been a good tournament, but as always, bittersweet when, you know, something you have been working on and organizing for so long comes to an end, and until next year, of course.
A lot of tiebreaker matches this year as well. Tiebreaker in finals, tiebreaker in semifinals. The early stages were
oddly more later on.
Yeah, there was one in round of 16.
NJ Massachusetts was crazy.
Yeah, and there was one in round of 32, but then none in quarterfinals into semifinals tiebreaker, finals tiebreaker. So there was a good share, maybe not a lot, but a good share of tiebreaker matches, and a lot of close matches the later this tournament went. I think the early stages, barring the middle seed matchups, tended to be pretty stompy, pretty one-sided. But it was a lot of close matches, especially as the tournament went later.
And the tiebreakers we did see were very exciting, and they tended to be very close. I think there was the one, I don't know if it was the round of 32 or the round of 16 tiebreaker, that was won by something like 10,000 points on a spinner battle.
So yeah, Rectagon top score Hard Rock, by the way.
Just Rectagon things.
Probably solo carries on the Nomad. So that's a thing.
I don't know. I said throughout the tournament, like, the bigger this tournament gets, the more you end up with really one-sided early rounds, but you also end up with really good, really tightly contested late rounds. So it's kind of a little bit of a trade-off that we deal with as the tournament grows. But I think it's gonna. I guess that's gonna do it, huh?
I think so. This is it for us.
Another year of USC in the books. Well, congratulations to Virginia, your winners. They'll receive a badge for their efforts. Very beautiful profile badge, USC 2023 champions. Florida in second, NorCal in third, and so on from down there. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Thank you to everybody that's been involved. Thank you to all the players. Thank you to all the staff. Thank you guys for being here. Dio, iFlame, much appreciated to have you here tonight for our second grand finals together of the day. I've been this one guy. Thank you all for an amazing year of USC, and we will see you guys in 2024. So long.
See you guys and take care.